Ageism, Discrimination in the Workplace by Brittany Taisacan-Vilante and Josh Ibach. The diversity issue that Josh and I are going to talk to you about today is age discrimination in the workplace. Personal reason for this issue. So Josh and I chose this issue because we know that discrimination due to age does exist, and we wanted to expand our knowledge by finding quality research. Going into this diversity project, we didn't know a lot about the aging population and about ageism, so we wanted to learn more and look at how the aging population is being affected. Social justice connection. So the U.S. Equal Opportunity Commission defines age discrimination as treating an applicant or employee less favorable because of his or her age. And it is a social justice issue because it's discrimination and it leads to unemployment. So, and it becomes a big problem for the aging population. Even with like the policies and programs put in place, like the Age Discrimination Employment Act and the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, ageism still exists. And Chow, in his research, talks about how 22,778 complaints were filed in 2009, and what's really sad and heartbreaking is that a lot of these age discrimination acts go underreported because it's really hard for these individuals to find evidence of age discrimination. Chow also explain workplace discrimination as either hiring, training, promotion, firing, and other institutional or interpersonal treatment. And both of the policies and programs put into place are for individuals 40 years and older. The ism that we chose was ageism, and the World Health Organization defined ageism as stereotyping and discrimination against people based on age. And it definitely becomes, like I mentioned earlier, a challenge with unemployment and restricted social services to the aging population. And in our time right now, there's definitely a lot more individuals over 65 who are working, and two big reasons for that is financial. A lot of individuals 65 and older need the income to survive, and they also really at that age need the engagement, the social interaction with other people. And in the United States, Chow wrote in his research that in 1995 there was a less of a percentage of men and women over the age of 65 in the workplace in comparison to 2009, which there is a jump in the statistics. And then ageism in the workplace, it can vary. It definitely has to do with employers' view of older workers, and the examples are listed on that slide.
Hi guys, this is Josh Ibach. I'm going to be covering slides 7 through 12. Starting off with intersectionality, slide 7, talk about how sexism and ageism can work together in workplace discrimination. Power relations related to gender are difficult to see, recognize, and acknowledge. Gender bias has been found in field studies in hiring, promotion, and career opportunities. Studies have showed that women in masculine job roles are rated lower than men in the same roles. So an example would be an elderly female hoping for a career advancement, doesn't get that advancement, contributes it to her age, when in reality it could be because of 1, her age, and 2, her gender. So jump to the next slide. Intersectionality continued, talk about racism. Start off with a quote that racism is permanent. It's with us. It's not going away. Covert racism in specific is still with us, which makes African Americans last hired and first fired. Resume studies show that individuals with black sounding names receive fewer callbacks for interviews than those with white sounding names. So an elderly African American applying for multiple jobs sends in multiple applications, no callbacks, contributes that to their age, when yes, it could be because of their age, but it could also be because of their race. Next slide, a commitment for change, micro. So social workers who can provide counseling to victims of age workplace discrimination are in need. Social workers can help at the micro level by helping older workers develop coping skills that can help manage workplace discrimination. They can also provide more of like a case management role and help the older worker build a effective network of contacts, prepare effective resumes, and develop assertiveness skills to challenge age discrimination. Next slide, commitment for change, meso, advocacy in the workplace. So social workers in their community can promote awareness and serve as a resource for employers. Furthermore, the social worker can educate employers about age workplace discrimination and help employers develop recruitment policies that benefit the older worker. Commitment for change, macro. Social workers can advocate to remove barriers that exist in current age discrimination laws. So procedures for an age discrimination lawsuit are complicated. Before an individual can sue for age discrimination, a private plaintiff must file charges with an appropriate state agency, and that's just the start. So for an older worker to file a lawsuit for age discrimination, there's a lot of hoops they have to jump through, a lot of barriers, and social workers can advocate to remove those barriers that exist in current laws. Slide number 12, advocacy group. So I picked Justice and Aging, which is a legal advocacy group that fights senior poverty through law. They specifically focus on populations that have traditionally lacked legal protection, such as women, people of color, LGBT individuals, and people with limited English. So I'd highly recommend checking out Justice and Aging. It's a great advocacy group. They also have a lot of resources that you may find helpful. The next two slides you can see some of our references. Thank you for watching.